Hello everyone, this is Cody and I am back again with another video demonstration. This time I'm going to be talking to you about how to work with lists. ServiceNow is, if you dig through it, you're going to find a lot of lists on various aspects of it. Lists basically are going to be a compilation of records based around a series of filters, or if you want you can view all current data on that table or that record. But it's very handy to become attuned to how to customize and work with lists. It'll make it much easier to find particular items that you're looking for. Some of the more common lists that you're going to encounter are going to be the ones that you start with on your idle homepage. These that you see under my work, my group's work, projects, and stuff like that nature. Those are all lists that, as you can tell, have filters applied. And so these were ways of creating lists and then creating basically a saved filter so that I can then populate it on my homepage. But for the first thing we're going to talk about is sorting lists. A common place you're going to encounter lists is on the incident table. So if we go to favorites, and you've watched my previous video, you know that I've gone ahead and created favorite links to some of these areas, including all open incident records. So I'm going to go ahead and click that button. And you're going to be given a list here, and you'll notice that it's listing 20 objects for me. I can always change the number of rows that are showing by clicking this icon here. You can go to show, and I can, I have it on 20, but I can go 10, and that will update and only show me 10 records. I can go back and show as much as 100. It's really however you want to do it. I think that 20 is a nice, happy medium. It's not too much, it's not too little. And so you'll notice that it has these listed for me. Now, once you're in here, you can kind of sort these on various ways of doing so. I can, again, go under here to find some options of what as well, where I can kind of filter these by different components. But to sort, for the most part, you're going to be looking at these headings here. So if I press this little icon here for number, currently it's going in descending order, but if I click it, it will sort it in ascending order. Well, that's not very helpful because this ticket at the very top is now from 2015, so it's usually best to keep it in that keep it the other way. But you do have those options, and this applies across every column. You can sort it based on the information in that column in ascending or descending, in alphabetical order or reverse alphabet as well. And so looking at that, you can sort it by column name. You can also sort it by the list context. So let's say I don't really just want to use this general one, but I want a much more robust way of sorting. If I right click on this column option, I can sort A to Z, Z to A as well for those areas. And you'll notice that it sorts everything based on that parameter across the whole table. Again, I like to keep it in descending order based on incident number, unless I am looking for a particular record or a particular caller. All right, so next we're going to look at how to filter list. There's two main ways of doing that. You can filter it by the condition builder, or you can quick filter it. For a condition filter builder, you just hit this icon here. It's going to open it up at the top, and you can build your conditions. Currently, because I'm in all open incidents, it's looking strictly at the active records. But let's say I want to find records where it's an assistance or an inquiry. So I'm going to go ahead and the category is assistance or inquiry. I'm going to go ahead and choose field. I'm going to find category. I'm going to set it to is, and I'm going to do assistance inquiry. I'm going to hit run. And this is going to update this list, only show me those who have a category of assistance inquiry. You'll notice, though, that if I did not want to filter this by, say, the active filter here at the top, I could have just typed in what I wanted the category to equal here. So I could have done equal assistance / inquiry, and it would have done the same thing. Now, once I've done a filter, if I'm done using it, I can always go back and click the breadcrumb before the one I want to omit. So if I hit active equals true, it gets rid of my previous filter and goes back to the main list, and we're back to looking at all records. Quick filters are also available. If you want to filter out that time, you can click on it. If you want to go up here, you can also, you can filter out things that match this description, filter out anything by David Rossman if I want to. It's really, really robust on how to do so. And so it's really, really handy to be like, well, I want to look at all of these, but I don't want from this caller, or I don't want anything from this time period. And so that's how you can filter the list moving forward. Again, we've already dabbled a little bit on this, but you can search a list. You can do this with the global search up here. Let's say I want to find everything from a particular caller. I'm going to type that person's name here, hit enter, and it's going to give me everybody, should give me everybody that's Steve Ward. My assumptions would be that some of these other tickets, well, actually, I forgot. It did a search for everything in the field. So if I did Stephen Ward, it's finding all the Stevens. I could do, I believe, Stephen Ward, particularly by using an asterisk, and that should get rid of Stephen Hyatt. Yeah. So if you just put 2 words in there, it's going to search both words. So Stephen Ward brought out Stephen Hyatt and Stephen Ward, but if you put asterisk Stephen Ward, it's going to look for that particular phrase. You can always note that it's going to add your search criteria essentially to this filter, and you can clear that search by going back to the previous breadcrumb. Now I can do the same search on any column. So if I wanted to limit it to a caller again, I can go here and I can just type in their name, and it's going to give me tickets that meet that requirement. I'm currently open. And so that's a really great way to quickly look at stuff and to filter it out and to get through large amounts of data. Now, if let's say we're wanting to do a little bit more with our list, there's things that we can do in addition to just filtering them. For instance, we can create what we like to call charts from the data that we've collected in a list. Maybe we've done a filter on a list and we're at a point now where we want to present this list as data. If you notice over here on the right, for like category and priority or incident state, things that have drop-down options associated with them, you can right-click and you can actually create a bar chart or a pie chart. So for category, I want to create a bar chart for all the data on the list that's present. And I click the bar chart link, and it's actually going to go ahead and give me a bar chart where it's looking at only the data that I've already filtered out into that list. So this is going to be work assigned to me. And you can see incident count on the left, how many projects I currently have open, how many fault and failures I have open, and how many service requests. But if we want to go ahead and go back to our list, you'll notice it's just going to take us to the general incidents assigned to me, so it just took me back. I can also do the same thing, but let's do priority and let's make it a pie chart so I can see how my incident records break down based on priority. You'll notice I have no critical need, no ones, but I do have 2 high needs, 3 moderates, 4 lows, or 2 lows, and then 19 very low. Most of the things I handle are going to be projects that are a little bit more long-term. They're not operational based, and they're not a bearing on people's day-to-days, ability to finish their jobs. These are just things that we're looking at maybe customizing. So those are some quick things that we can do with filtered list. And one last thing we want to look at is the settings for this table that we're looking at. Let's say there's some information here that we would like to be included in our view of this record table. So we're going to go ahead and hit this little update personalized list icon, and this will let me change the columns that are associated with these records. Right now we have number, the created date, the updated date, the caller, short description, category, priority, and incident state. But maybe I want to see current notes or maybe comments on this one. The most recent comments or work notes. I can choose that, put it over. I want to put it beside the short description and hit OK. Now this should refresh, and what you'll notice is that it's going to tell me the last time there were comments. If I hover over it, it will actually give me a preview of that comment, so I don't have to open the record. Well, these were just a few tips and tricks and guidance for working with lists within ServiceNow. Like I said, they're very robust. plus. They're kind of the foundation of the whole software, and they're very, very helpful for putting together large amounts of data and reviewing your records. And of course, there's more to them than just simply scrolling through. There's a lot of tools at our disposal so that we can dig through large amounts of data rather quickly. I hope you learned a lot today, and I hope you also had a great day. Thank you.